Oh, but if you were watching the video and paused it, you'd see all the answers before the explanation. And it'd be like, this video is ruined.
Spoilers. The video, but you'd have to. But for that, you'd have to wait to the I like you up.
That's right. I can't believe that was on the video. Oh well. I call this one a double triangle question. So when I give questions names, I do that to help you, because if you see a question and say, hey, this is a double triangle question, it can help you because it kind of tells you what to do. You're going to draw two triangles to solve this question. This question, I think, is the scariest looking when you first read it, but actually one of the easiest questions. And there's a couple of really predictable questions in Chapter 7 worth lots of marks that students like. Because if it's predictable and you study it and you know how to do it, it's sort of like that comes up on the test, and then you're like, yay, 3 marks, because it's not that hard. So this is how double triangle questions work. First, they give you information about one angle, alpha, so you draw that. They tell us angle alpha is in quadrant 3, so I go into quadrant 3, I label my reference angle for alpha, go back to my nearest x-axis, and since I know that cos of alpha is 3/5, I can label adjacent is 3, hypotenuse is 5, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'll get this side is 4. And so I already knew that cos of alpha was -3/5. From my triangle, I can tell that sine of alpha is -4/5. Negative because of the cast rule, it's in quadrant 3. And sine is opposite over hypotenuse. I then go and draw a triangle for beta. Beta is in quadrant 2. So this is my beta reference angle. Sine, opposite over hypotenuse, will be 1/3. I already know that sine of beta is 1/3. A squared plus b squared equals c squared will tell us this side is the square root of 8. So cos of beta is negative, because it's in quadrant 2, √8/3. And they want us to find sine of alpha plus beta. And on our formula sheet, this is sine alpha cos beta plus cos alpha sine beta. And something interesting happens in the next step. So in the next step, we've already done our double triangles. I already wrote out what cos alpha, sine beta, cos beta are. The next step to solve this is you just have to plug things in. However, I've done a study, and whatever your gut tells you to do right now is the same thing your gut tells you if I show you the right way to do it or not. It's kind of scary. So there is a very, very common mistake that happens next. And you would make that mistake whether I showed you the right way right now or not. The first time you do it on your own, if you are genetically predisposed to making this mistake, I don't know if it's genetic, okay? But let's pretend it is. You will still make this mistake even if I showed you the right way. Even if I was like, this is really important and showed you the right way. No, you're going to make that mistake. The best way to get rid of this genetic defect is, you're going to do it right now. I'm going to take a survey. Sometimes the classes are 50-50. 50% of people have this genetic defect and 50% don't. The other class this year was 66% were good and only 33% had the defect. So we'll see what your stats are. So I'll write the right idea down. The idea is, do you know what alpha is? No, you do not know what alpha is. You know that all of sine alpha is equal to -4.
Yes.
You know that all of cos beta is -√8/3. But The common mistake is people just plug it in just for the alpha. Why? Because you're used to replacing just a variable with a number. Can you see yourself used to doing that? So your brain was telling you, just do what you're used to doing. That must be the right thing if you do it often. Well, in this case, you don't know what alpha is. You know all of sine alpha, you know all of cos beta is this, then plus. I know all of cos alpha is -3/5, and all of sine beta is 1/3. To get our final answer here, we need a common denominator. They will have a common denominator of 15. And here I'll have positive 4 root 8. Don't need to simplify that root 8. Minus 3. This is our final answer. Okay? So what you have to ask your brain is, do I know what alpha is? No, I know all of sine alpha. Question. Questions for practice on this one?
I need to
And 13.
Sine equals 0.16.
Right.